Theseus is probably, to me, the most untalked about PSVR game that deserves your attention if you own the system. It is dark, it is gritty, it is brutal, it is gory, and visually for PlayStation VR, it is spectacular. I was honestly blown away by how this game looks in the headset. On screen here, you might not think it as much, but if you've played VR, you're used to these sort of simplistic looks, these cartoony styles, they which look cool in VR. But Theseus really goes for that realistic aesthetic. Think of something God of War-ish, think of something Rise, Son of Rome, and you've got this here in this game. It's just one of the most beautiful games I've ever played with a headset on, and there were so many times when creatures were coming at me and I had to fight and battle, and all I wanted to do was look around and take it in. And on top of that, the story itself is really interesting. What I love is you've got this sort of, essentially a 3D action platformer game with a very light puzzle element. And as the headset, essentially you wearing the headset, you're the camera, and you look around and you've got fixed perspectives, but they do a great job of picking really great sort of camera angles in some scenarios that really makes the visuals just look even better. Like the scale is just, to me, felt immense. It felt really, really impressive. Especially when you start getting through the broken buildings and it's all dilapidated and destroyed, and you've got this darkness corrupting it, and you look out and you see way off in the distance this sky with this light emanating from it, and it's just this beacon of beauty and despair that I just stared at. And it's just such an enjoyable game. It's short, it's only a few hours long, but there are so many times where, maybe you might see it in this video, where the guy is climbing along this sort of these cliff sides or these sort of platforming sections, and the camera just goes off up into the sky or off into the distance, because experiencing this for the first time, like I said, I was quite blown away. And having these action sequences then pop up, I was like, oh god, like I was sort of surprised by them, because I was already so distracted by how good this game looks. But yeah, you don't usually have a lot of these games on PSVR in particular. You usually got your shooting galleries, you've got your sort of fun, stand in the spot, sort of interact with things. Where here, you hold the PS4 controller, and you play the game like a simplistic enough action third person game, where your square is to attack and X, and sort of you use triangle to, when you have a torch, to sort of, shoot the enemies away, so in case you get over encumbered by too many of them and all that, and you can dodge. And it's a full-fledged action game, but you've got the added perspective of VR. Like I said, the sense of scale is unbelievable in VR. It's hard to say or show it here in this video, but it really feels like these are huge destroyed places. Yeah, I just think this is a game that was really not talked about much on PSVR, but if you have the system, I would highly recommend you pick it up, because you haven't played a game quite like this in VR.